Something very familiar, but in a very new setting. UConn women's basketball playing one of its long-standing Big East rivals, St. John's, in the first ever women's basketball game inside UBS Arena at Belmont Park. And from the border of Queens and Nassau County, we say hello with Megan Clomo. I'm Alan Bestwick. Maria Marino joins us courtside in just a moment. Well, after the odyssey of injury news and absences that have been the last couple of months for this UConn team, leading to them having to postpone last Sunday's game at DePaul for not having enough healthy players to play, we begin tonight with good news for a change. Gino Auriemma is back on the sidelines for the Huskies, and AZ Fudd will make her return to the floor. I know it's only been 8 games. It seems like a lot longer. A refresher, please, of what AZ Fudd will do for this UConn team.
I mean, she is one of the purest shooters the women's game has ever seen. She's so much fun. I mean, it's just such a thing of beauty, that jump shot. She spreads the floor. She makes it very difficult to guard UConn because she changes the way they play offense. If you try to guard her tight, she'll dump it inside. She's a great passer. She scores about 20 points a game, but she's so efficient. 53% from the floor, 43% from three-point range. She will be a welcome addition back, and she's also a great defender.
And she will come off the bench for UConn in this one. So UConn in first place in the Big East, undefeated in conference play at 6-0. St. John's off to one of the best starts the Red Storm have had under their head coach Joe Tartamella. And our Nissan keys to the game telling you a little bit about the hot start for the Red Storm.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's the best start in history. He went to the transfer portal. They got a lot of kids in. Couple kids who have transferred in who are making a huge impact. They've got consistency every single day in practice. They play hard. They have more players who can make shots, but they're willing to do the hard stuff. That's what makes this team so much better this year.
So an interesting matchup for sure, as St. John's at 5-1 in Big East play. And now tonight's starting lineups presented by Subaru of New England. So there are the 5 for the Huskies: Mule, Lopez, Seneschal, Griffin, Uhas, and Edwards, with again Fudd to come off the bench. And on the right, the aforementioned Jayla Everett, the player to watch, as well as Kadeja Bailey for St. John's. He's back. Gino Auriemma back on the sidelines for this UConn team, looking to get what would be his 47th win over St. John's in his long Hall of Fame career.
He wasn't looking for the razor today, was he?
It's game day, the game day look for Coach. UConn in the road national flag blues, St. John's in the home whites. Dorky Uhas wins the tip, and we're underway here at UBS Arena. Ball into Aubrey Griffin. Here's Aaliyah Edwards. Uhas from way outside. Gets that to go from just inside the three-point arc.
Important start for Uhas to knock down that shot. Always helps with your confidence. But St. John's a really good half-court defensive team.
Storm have made their name at the defensive end of the floor. Here is number 4, Jayla Everett. She is their leading scorer, tries to get it inside the Peoples. There's a steal for Aubrey Griffin. Huskies push the pace. Mule to Edwards, and a bucket.
St. John's wants to work on getting back in transition. They're much better this year than they were last year, but UConn is so efficient getting the ball up the floor in a hurry.
Kadeja Bailey, one of those veteran players, wearing number 30 for St. John's. Here's Everett. There's going to be an illegal screen called. That's going to be against Jillian Archer. And that will not please St. John's head coach Joe Tartamella. His 11th season as the Red Storm head coach. He is the all-time winningest head coach in program history. And he's got some good things going on in Queens.
He does. He's got a bunch of kids that have come in, like we were saying before, from the transfer portal. It's a good group of players. They're a tough team. They cracked the top 25 earlier.
Mule misses badly, but Griffin runs right under it. Uhas drives. No, too strong. Gets the rebound through 2 St. John's players. There's Lopez Seneschal, no. Edwards with the offensive glass.
Rebounding is also critical for St. John's. You can't give up that many looks to UConn. Great effort there by Edwards.
So Aaliyah Edwards on the board. And now with 4 points for the Huskies. transfer students in, trying to drive on Lopez Seneschal. Good defense by Lopez Seneschal. 3 to shoot, 2 to shoot. Flyer at the rim, no good. And Lou gets the rebound. Huskies push, Aubrey Griffin running ahead of the pack. Shot doesn't fall, no foul call.
I think she left a little too soon. She can fly, just not that far.
I don't care who you are on the floor. You do not want to get in a track meet with 44.
Oh, you will not win.
Here's Khadijah Bailey. Led the way in scoring for St. John's. The game against UConn a year ago. Has the ball in her hand. Shot clock down to 3. Tries to drive on Griffin, and he's going to get the foul call. Well, I talked about the odyssey that has been the lineup for this UConn team throughout the season. Just take a look at some of this. First, you have Beckers and Brady out for the season with their injuries. Caroline Ducharme still in concussion protocol. Bud coming back after 8 games missed, and everybody else that's been spending time on the outside, on the bench, watching instead of on the court playing for Gino Auriemma and this UConn team.
Yeah, Caroline Ducharme and Ayanna Patterson not sitting on the bench. They're back on campus, didn't make the trip.
Patterson.
It's incredible, the injuries. Whoever would have thought that the COVID year was actually easier than this?
Yeah, right. Here's Griffin. Ewell tries to drive on Bailey. Big step, tried to dump it underneath to Edwards. 3 defenders collapsed on her.
I'm not sure why Nika Mule didn't shoot that ball.
UConn coaching staff probably wonders the same. You mentioned Ayanna Patterson went into concussion protocol after the Xavier game. So she also joins the list of not available. Dorka Juhas fronted.
Great footwork there by Juhas to get around front.
Fronted Archer and got the steal. Five-point UConn lead. Juhas drives on Archer, the bucket, and the foul.
We talked about Juhas and her composure and her confidence and her maturity. Love the poise in this decision. She noticed there was no weak side help, and it was one-on-one, and she knew she could take that kid.
So that is already the 2nd foul on Jillian Archer for St. John's, and she will have to go to the bench shy of 4 minutes played. And Danielle Patterson will come into the ballgame for the Red Storm. So here is Dorka Juhas at the free throw line. And adds the bonus point. 9-1 UConn early. Just 1 shot from the floor so far for the Red Storm in this ballgame. UConn's defense able to squeeze him into the final seconds of the shot clock. Here's Everett. Steps back from Juhas and gets it to go. Jayla Everett, the 5th-year senior.
And she looked at the official like, hey, I got hit there too.
Everett averaging 17 a game for St. John's. Had her season high 26 in their last game. Lopez Seneschal cut off. Offensive foul.
Heads-up play by St. John's defensively. Just step in there, and it's a smart play. Lopez Seneschal has to watch where she's going. Can't go in there with no purpose.
So taking that charge was Mimi Reed, the grad transfer from the Bronx. She wears number 2. Passes off to Everett, squeezes one off from outside the free throw line, landed on somebody when she came down. Everett turned an ankle on her way down. She's hobbling back up the court.
You hear Tardamella screaming on the sideline, hands up.
The foul called on the floor underneath, and that will get us to the media timeout halfway through quarter number 1. 4-point UConn lead at the first break. Halfway through quarter number 1, it is a 4-point UConn lead. Our first chance to check in under the Husky defensive basket with Maria Marino.
Thanks, Alan. I spoke with AZ Fudd this morning, who told me it's always hard when you have to sit and watch, but it was even harder over the past week as injuries piled up for this UConn team. She really wanted to be smart, though, about her comeback because there are still so many games left, and she worked with the training staff to do that. She did say it was helpful, though, having her friend Paige Beckers by her side, both in the training room, during rehab, and on the bench, so she could have someone to talk to during the games. Apparently, she may have talked a bit too much. She said Paige might be excited to have her move down the bench, Alan.
Yeah, well, as you see, AZ is no longer seated next to Paige on the bench. She has checked into the ballgame for the first time. That last foul was an offensive foul on Aaliyah Edwards, her first, and so after the Huskies open up a 9-1 lead, 4 straight points from Jayla Everett has the Red Storm feeling it a little bit. Here's Everett here. Defended by Mule. The people screen. And a nice, easy floater there from Jayla Everett. 6-0 run here for St. John's. Nice play by Mule.
I mean, if they're going to overplay you on the wing like that, a smart decision there by Mule. Back cut.
So stops that St. John's run and makes it a 4-point UConn lead. Here's Bailey. Everett tries to run off a screen. People sets the screen. Now on the switch, Uhas defending. Everett tries to step back. Uhas tried to get there. No foul called.
Everett's looking at the official like, seriously? She knocked me down.
Into Aaliyah Edwards. A quick spin move. Wow, that was lightning.
She talk about confidence. When that young lady catches the ball in the low post, you could just tell she feels that nobody can stop her.
And good to see that she feels good to play that way. Of course, after missing the second half of the game against Xavier, after making a hustle play and going over a couple of rows of chairs at the side of the court. 10 to shoot already for St. John's. Trying to get the ball to Everett. Lopez Seneschal defending. Now Uhas reach out, and they're going to call Lopez Seneschal, who fouled Everett on the 3-point attempt.
Not a smart foul.
That'll be the second on Lou.
Yeah, there's just no point in knocking the kid down.
And so Lopez Seneschal will go to the bench, and Aubrey Griffin will come back in. So Jayla Everett, part of this this group, you talked about hitting the transfer portal and so on. Of the 12 on the roster for St. John's, 8 are seniors, fifth-year seniors, or graduate students, including Jayla Everett, a fifth-year senior who played her freshman and sophomore years at New Mexico and her last 2 seasons at Pitt.
You talk about maturity. I mean, to have that many upperclassmen, kids who have gone and played elsewhere and now are back home in New York. You could just tell that, you know, Joe Tartamella's team is so much more composed than they were in the past.
Going to get a foul there as they tried to get the ball into Edwards, and Raven Peoples reached in and wrapped her up. And the fans wearing red, not agreeing with the call. So UConn to inbound with 23 on the shot clock. Uhas sets the screen for Fudd to pull up. No. Gets her own rebound. Into Uhas, who gets it stolen away. Nice hustle play by Mimi Reed for St. John's.
What a smart help play there by Reed from the backside. Wow.
Reed, the graduate transfer from Ole Miss, coming back home to New York City. Bailey driving on Fudd, kicks to the free throw line. That's Danielle Patterson with the bucket for St. John's.
Joe Tartamella told me before the game, if we can make shots and not turn it over, we got a chance.
Shooting 67%, 4 of 6 from the floor. There's Fudd, top of the key. No. Rebound tapped over to Uhas. UConn will reset. 10 on the shot clock. Juhas working in the paint, gets it knocked down by Patterson.
Not a great flow offensively for UConn. Is it what they're not doing, or is it St. John's? You know, they lead the Big East in only allowing 55 points a game. They're a really good defensive team.
You answered my question before I can even ask it. Very nice. 2-point ball game. Inside of 2 minutes to go, coming down to a minute and a half to go in this opening quarter. Shot clock running out. Everett will throw it up over Griffin. No, and it goes over the back. St. John's with 11 points, and Jayla Everett with 8 of those 11. By far leading the way for the Red Storm. UConn led by Aaliyah Edwards with 6, Dorky Juhas with 5. Here's AZ Fudd. Gets one from outside and goes.
Even though you know she's going to shoot it, she still gets it off.
So AZ Fudd is back on the scoreboard for UConn.
How quick that release is. As soon as she catches it, her feet are ready, her body is lined up. She doesn't waste a second.
And the first one from beyond the arc for either team to be made in the game so far. Not many taken. This has been a game played in the paint and inside the arc. Unique Drake can't get the shot off. Shot clock already in single digits. There's Bailey, defended by Juhas, kicks to Drake, defended by Griffin. Gets the shot to go at the buzzer.
I mean, you can't guard it any better, but what a savvy play there by Drake.
So fractions of a second difference between the shot clock and the game clock to end this first quarter. Huskies set the offense here with a 3-point lead. Fudd to a rolling Edwards, fouled and knocked to the ground.
Fudd, a really good passer as well. Edwards fouled pretty hard.
And being made to work for her space in the paint. So Danielle Patterson, check that, Mimi Reed got called for the foul, not Patterson. And here's Aaliyah Edwards. Who has been very good at the free throw line for UConn, 75% from the stripe. And 50% on that trip. 10.7 to go. Drake runs by Fudd, defended by Griffin, throws it away to no one.
I think she stepped on the end line.
On the end line, yeah. So UConn with 5 seconds. Can they get off a shot? And in the first quarter on an exclamation point. Griffin. Lost control. Juhas will put it up. No. All right, a little helter-skelter on the ending of the quarter. Close one here at UBS Arena. It's UConn by 4 after 1. Getting ready for the start of quarter number 2, and the score adjusted there. Remember that shot clock, the ball where Unique Drake for St. John's went to the rim right as the shot clock was expiring. They went and reviewed it, said the ball was still in her hand when the timer went off, so those 2 points deducted from the St. John's total. Como's Court Vision, brought to you by Yale New Haven Health. Meg's going to color for us.
Well, you see, this is the difference that AZ makes in an offensive sequence. Now watch here. Here you see that screen, a terrific screen by Aubrey Griffin. And then look at that, how quickly she releases that ball. Just catch. Watch this, catch, release. No time wasted, no movement wasted. That's a thing of beauty.
Now, it's very glad to have AZ Fudd back on the floor for UConn after missing 8 games with that knee that was hurt in the game at Notre Dame the beginning of December. Leading scorer in the first quarter for UConn, Aaliyah Edwards, 3 of 4 from the floor with 7 points and 1 rebound. For St. John's, it was Jayla Everett with 8 of their 11 points. Everett 3 of 5 from the floor. No three-point field goals attempted by St. John's in that first quarter.
So I would imagine in UConn's huddle, Gino Auriemma may have said something like, okay, Jayla Everett, number 4, has 8 points. Don't let her score. Make somebody else score.
Here is Everett with the ball, defended by Griffin.
You see Griffin is forcing her to go left.
Leah Edwards contested the shot, it missed. UConn rebound, here comes Mule. I was going to say that switch looked a little awkward, a little late, but they got away with it. Uhas for a 3, no. Edwards is going to get called for a foul, fighting for the rebound.
You know what? I think both of them were probably holding each other. She just got caught.
Talisa Green will call Aaliyah Edwards for her 2nd foul of the ball game, less than a minute into the second quarter. So 17-11. Remember, UConn raced out to a 9-1 lead. Then Jayla Everett kind of brought the Red Storm back single-handedly. She's defended here by Griffin. There's Patterson.
Uhas just got away with a push right there.
Reed driving on Fudd will get the foul. That'll be the first on Fudd.
We haven't seen UConn commit this many fouls, but St. John's is really good and always have been about turning the corner and penetrating into the lane.
So here is Mimi Reed from the Bronx, New York. Spent her last 5 seasons at Ole Miss. And in the transfer portal for her graduate season back in New York City, where she's from. And gets 1 of 2 there from the free throw line, then heads for the bench. So 5-point UConn lead. It's Fudd, Mule, Edwards, Uhas, and Griffin, the 5 on the floor for UConn. Fudd.
She wanted that ball. You could see her calling for the ball. She knew she was open.
Off camera, not pictured. Joe Tardamella squeezing his arms tightly across his chest, looking up like, oh, we didn't want that. Here's Khadijah Bailey driving. Nice touch for Bailey, the 5th-year senior from here in New York City. Mule almost lost control, but still got the bucket.
I wasn't sure if she was fouled. She got knocked off course.
That is 4 points, 2 of 3 from the floor for Mule. The one she missed was from beyond the arc. That is going to end up almost in Gino's lap.
So watch, Fudd gives it up, and then she reads her defender, and she says, wait, give me the ball back quickly. You see number 4 way off. Can't lose Azzi Fudd. You can't give her that much room.
Went behind the screen, and it didn't take Fudd long to make it hurt. There's Bailey. Stepped on the end line. Turnover by St. John's. And another stat that stood out from the game so far are turnovers. In that first quarter, UConn had 7, St. John's had 6. Let's see, 7 times 4, that's well beyond the Huskies' season average. Let me correct myself, that's points from turnovers. Thank you, they had 3 turnovers. Uhas, no, defended well by Peoples. Aaliyah Edwards is going to draw the foul, trying to put the rebound back up.
Terrific effort and hustle by Aaliyah Edwards to track down that offensive rebound off the missed Uhas shot. A little late on the pass. Look at that great hustle by Edwards. Uhas, you know, you can't go up and end up underneath the baseline. You got to go up strong. She was a little bit off balance. But what hustle by Edwards.
Last 5 games for the junior from Canada, 20 points per game, 10 rebounds per game. The tour de force continues for Aaliyah Edwards. And good from the free throw line on both ends of that one. Edwards will be the first UConn player. Could be the first UConn player into double figures. She's got 9 now.
Aubrey Griffin has stepped it up defensively against Everett.
There's Bailey now on foot. Now Patterson, guarded by Edwards. Cut off, defended well by Edwards. Will have to throw one up. No, that's a travel.
That was well defended by Edwards. Let's not forget, she's got 2 fouls.
That's the 7th St. John's turnover in the ball game. And a 10-point lead now for UConn, their largest lead of the ball game. Griffin sets the screen for Flood. Now Edwards drives through the double team, and it goes. 11 for Aaliyah Edwards. And a timeout for St. John's. A 6-0 UConn run. Over the last minute and 40 seconds, led by Aaliyah Edwards. Got another one to go. A look at beautiful new UBS Arena at Belmont Park. The home of the New York Islanders opened a little over a year ago. This the first ever women's basketball game played inside the building. And they're giving the arena crew a workout. The Islanders played here last night, drew the 1 millionth fan to the building. The Islanders play here tomorrow night. And the court laid down over the ice, as is custom, yields some cold feet for the announcers sitting courtside. Good turnout of UConn fans, not a surprise here in the New York City area.
Yeah, a ton of UConn fans here.
And watching the Huskies lead by 12, their largest of the ball game, shy of the midway mark of this second quarter. Azzi Fudd has gone back to the bench. Lopez Seneschal back in the ball game. Bailey couldn't handle the ball. Another turnover by St. John's.
Lopez Seneschal back in the game with 2 fouls.
Yeah. Lopez Seneschal off the UHA screen. Yes, got it to go. First points of the night for the grad student.
That's a kid who does not stay down for long. She doesn't miss a lot of consecutive shots.
Shot clock already at 10 for St. John's. Reed will try and drive on Lopez Seneschal. Kicks to Patterson. She'll feed Bailey. She'll run straight into Lopez Seneschal, and the ball will fall harmlessly out of bounds at a time violation.
How about you talk about maturity, the grad student Lopez Seneschal directing offense, knowing what she wanted to see, and then bam, knocking down the 3.
Smooth as could be. Lopez Seneschal, the leading 3-point shooter in the Big East and 3rd in the nation. 2nd on this UConn team in scoring. Turnover by UConn. It was a 5-second violation. The ball got stuck.
You know, some of that, you know, it's infuriating to Gino Auriemma, but some of it you just got to keep moving. And, you know, so UConn stagnant offensively, but you got to give St. John's credit, making it difficult for UConn to run offense.
Here's Everett, guarded by Lopez Seneschal. Now Reed from way outside, no. It'll fall right into the hands of Drake. Everett drives again. Uhas is there, nice cut and bucket by Danielle Patterson.
Such a great move off the ball by Patterson.
Everett tried for the steal, almost ended up in the seats, and the bucket goes from Lopez Seneschal. 2 consecutive trays for Lou. 12-2 run for UConn over the last 3.5 minutes.
Lopez Seneschal has to be smart. 30 feet from the basket. She can't pick up her third foul.
8 to shoot. Patterson lets it fly. Missed. Wide left. Griffin with the rebound. Huskies push the pace. Lopez Seneschal just keeps moving and gets all the way to the rim.
What a smart curl and a good pass from Juhas. That's just a savvy cut by Lopez Seneschal. Feeling the defender trailing her, she curled and went to the hoop. And again, a great pass from Juhas.
Reed, she gets knocked to the floor. She tripped over Lopez Seneschal's feet, but that's going to be the third foul for Lou.
Well, this will be the last thing we'll see from Lopez Seneschal in a while. Really good cut. Terrific pass. That's just a smart basketball play, reading the defense.
She has scored the last 8 UConn points, has Lopez Seneschal. But now it's Mimi Reed at the free throw line for the Red Storm, and Lopez Seneschal with her third foul. No move to check anyone in from the bench so far for UConn. And now Fudd gets up off the bench, and she will check into the ball game for Lou. Fudd has played 8 minutes so far in the ball game. Remember, the loose guideline was they wanted to play her about 10 minutes and a half. There are 3.5 to go in this second quarter. Griffin being challenged to shoot from outside. Juhas will drive instead and get fouled on her way to the rim.
I like that step-through move by Juhas.
It'll be Daniel Cosgrove who gets the foul. Husky fans, take advantage of UConn women's basketball's Weekender deal this month. Purchase tickets for 2 or more of the 4 games in January and enjoy half-price Husky value tickets, just $10. Visit UConnTickets.com and secure your seats now. Could be Georgetown Sunday, the rescheduled game with DePaul. A lot of options.
A lot of options.
So Dorka Juhas is at the free throw line. Line on Juhas, 5 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists in this one so far. And 0 for 2 on that one. That'll be a foul on Mule. That'll be her first.
You know, there's one thing to put pressure on the ball. I think she got hit in the face, did Nika Mule, but you don't want to commit a foul that far away.
22 on the shot clock. And 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. There's Everett. Quickly back to Drake. Shot clock running down, 5. Drake drives, tried to kick it back out to Reed. She just turns around and heaves up a 3 that actually caught iron. Almost went down. Mule to Edwards, couldn't handle the pass, in too tight.
Yeah, just, you know, you make the easy play. You don't have to make a play that's impossible. And they, you know, that's only their 4th turnover here, the 5th turnover in this first half. They had been at 3 for a long time.
Shot clock again at 5. Reed drives. Juhas went for the block from behind. Didn't get the ball, but the shot didn't go in either. Edwards trying to post up inside. Instead, they'll kick it to Fudd, around and out.
Halfway down.
First shot from long range that Fudd has missed in her return. Everett drives, and they're going to call Edwards on a foul on that one. That'll be her 3rd.
These are plays that you have to learn over time. Like Aaliyah Edwards, why didn't really look like she got much contact, but why put yourself in that position? Yeah, it's a bad call, but you have 2 fouls.
And so now 2 UConn players with 3 fouls shy of halftime. And Jayla Everett shooting free throws for St. John's. And so Amari DeBerry will come up off the bench and sub in for Aaliyah Edwards for this final minute 47 of quarter number 2. So it's Griffin, DeBerry, Mule, Uhas, and Fudd for UConn. Bailey, Cosgrove, Reed, Everett. And a bucket there, a nice one from DeBerry. I'm missing somebody. Archer back into the ball game for St. John's. Reed kicks outside Cosgrove. Now Everett. Shot clock again down to single digits. Reed tries to go inside. Archer throws it away. Mule to DeBerry. To a running Uhas.
Nice job by Uhas to run the floor. Nice pass from DeBerry.
UConn lead is 18. That shot will miss everything and be rebounded by Fudd. Gary Apple and Kara Walters have all the first half highlights and analysis on the UConn Women's Basketball Halftime Show presented by Duncan shortly. Collision.
I don't understand this call. This call is against UConn. Oh, I guess it's against Amari DeBerry. Yeah, she called it on, I believe the official called it on Amari DeBerry.
Yes, they did. That'll be her first.
Chris Daly is working that official right now. She did, like her right side, it looked like she moved in a little.
Yep. So 18-point UConn lead as we're inside the final now. 20 seconds to go in this second quarter. Slight difference, shot clock and game clock. Here's Everett. Got off by DeBerry, knocked away. Mule will rip the ball away, and they'll call a foul on Reed for St. John's. That'll be her second.
I mean, this is just following the scouting report, not letting Everett turn the corner and double teaming her. Really good team defense.
So 7.7 for UConn. Mule will draw the foul and get the bucket.
Such a strong take by Mule. Just really good recognition that they weren't stopping the ball.
Well, they had 7.7 left. They didn't need much of it. And now Mule with a chance to add an extra, and does so from the free throw line. 3.9 to go. Full court pressure, and that is going to be how we go to halftime here at UBS. A 7-0 run by UConn to end the second quarter. And they outscore St. John's 24-9 in the period. And at the end of one, led by Aaliyah Edwards, 11 points. It's UConn 41 and St. John's 20 as they head to the locker rooms for halftime. Joe Tartamella with some things to talk about with his team, and associate head coach Chris Daly with talking to Meg.
CD, terrific 20 minutes. You don't know where to look. You know what?
No idea where to look.
We're looking at you. Don't worry about that. And you look great. And you're is that mustard? We're going to call that mustard?
We're calling it marigold.
Okay, marigold. Hey, terrific first half, holding them to 20 points. You got to feel good about your team's defense.
Our defense was terrific. We fouled too much. You know, having Lou and Aaliyah with 3 fouls each. That's, you know, and not smart plays on each of their third fouls. But overall, our defense was great. We didn't give them second chance points. We made them work for everything. So we were really happy with that.
And AZ Fudd looking good, coming back, changes your offense quite a bit.
Yeah, you know, she not getting in that, knocking in that first three, I think is going to help her, and she just gives us another dimension. They really have to pay attention to her, and she's really good off the dribble too. So hopefully she'll be able to play another good half.
All right, thanks, CD. Good luck second half.
Thank you.
Associate head coach Chris Daly on our interview with CD, presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Well, UConn led by 6 after 1, but turned it on in the second period. They lead by 21. Gary and Kara with the first half highlights coming up next. And back at UBS Arena at Belmont Park, we start the third quarter with UConn leading Big East rival St. John's by 21 points. With Megan Como, I'm Alan Bestwick. Maria Marino rejoins us shortly. Well, St. John's is a team that averages about 70 points per game this season, held well below half of that at halftime by this UConn defense.
Yeah, I mean, and they tightened it up in the beginning. You know, they were, I would say just not as sharp, but they made some adjustments, and they really did a nice job taking Jayla Everett out of the offense. But it was team. They got down in their stance. They communicated really well on screens, active hands in the passing lane. They really worked well together defensively. They were I thought they were locked in together defensively, and that's what you've got to do to be a good defensive team.
So you can see the 20 points off the 11 St. John's turnovers. Stories as we start the second half. Foul trouble for UConn. Both Aaliyah Edwards and Lou Lopez-Seneschal have 3 personal fouls apiece. And for the Red Storm and Joe Tartamella's squad, you mentioned, I think, at the start of the second quarter, after Jayla Everett had 8 points in the first quarter, you envisioned Gino stepping into the huddle and saying, "Four's not going to score again." She only had 2 points the whole second quarter.
They listen to their coach, don't they?
And you've heard him a few times
Just
in order
to
predict what, yeah. Lopez-Seneschal with the quick bucket for 2. Let's check with Maria.
Yeah, Alan, speaking with Joe Tartamella, he said he was happy with how his team competed, that they just have to play smarter, and you can't let UConn score 20 points off turnovers in a half. He wants them to respond better in their ability to get back in transition and just take care of the basketball.
All right, Maria, thanks. Offensive rebound for Raven Peoples off the miss by Everett. Red Storm will reset. They had a 20-second shot clock. It already quickly ticks down to 10. Bailey almost had it knocked away. 3 to shoot. Peoples will throw up a 2 over Lopez-Seneschal and get it to go.
The tough spot for Lopez-Seneschal is, she doesn't want to commit her 4th foul. So contest, but you're going to give that shot up.
Raven Peoples, the 5th-year senior on this very experienced St. John's squad. Lopez-Seneschal into Uhas. Defended by Archer. Nice spin to the left hand.
Terrific spin by Uhas, but what I love about that play, Aaliyah Edwards started to cut in, and then she went up to the foul line to not bring her defender down there to double Uhas.
45-22 Huskies. Everett tries to hit a cutting Bailey. She will be fouled hard by Mule.
Typical reaction, but I don't know if I've heard this before. Oh my God, bro. She got it with, she blocked the ball with her right hand, but what we can't see is her left hand. Tom Danaher, the official, was right there on the end line.
So the second for Nika Mule. And Kadeja Bailey steps to the free throw line. The 5th-year senior, preseason All-Big East first team pick for the Red Storm. Last season when UConn visited St. John's over at their on-campus arena, Carnesecca Arena, led the Red Storm with 21 points.
And she's played great lately. She's got double figures in 16 of their last 19 games. She shows up for Tartamella.
And a turnover, a travel.
And those are that turnover right there are the ones that drive coaches crazy. The unforced ones.
So that's the 7th UConn turnover of the game. Red Storm have committed 11. Here's Bailey, guarded by Mule. Skip pass across Reed. Shot clock at 10. Under and up. No, missed by Reed. UConn got the rebound.
How about Aaliyah Edwards guarding a 5'8" guard and doing a terrific job moving her feet.
Lopez Seneschal will get fouled on the floor. That'll be on Jayla Everett and be her first. Here's a look at Everett, who is the only St. John's player in the double figures in scoring in this ball game. Here's Dorka Juhas, now Aubrey Griffin. Juhas for two, got it.
But you know, Dorka Juhas, you're going to take that shot, step back and make it a three. It was about 4 inches.
And just had the right foot kind of halfway across the line. But Juhas is into double figures, 12 points, 4 rebounds tonight for Dorka. Everett. Lopez Seneschal switches on defense. Nice pump fake, but the shot missed. If that is credited to Juhas on that rebound, that will be her 1,000th career rebound, and it was. Here's Aubrey Griffin. No. Rebound Peoples. And St. John's will get a chance to try and cut into this 47-24 lead. So 1,000 career rebounds for Dorka Juhas.
That's incredible.
Here's Bailey. Has to work on Edwards. Shot clock again down to 5. Everett with the pull-up and pop. No, big collision going for the rebound. It's going to be St. John's ball.
And I think Edwards knocked Mule to the ground. Both going for the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, fortunately for Edwards, I don't think you can get called for a foul on your own teammate.
And Dorka Juhas adds the rejection to the stat line tonight.
Nice help. Sweet blocked.
Boom. See the Red Storm very cold from the floor this quarter. Only 1 of 6 so far. There's Archer from just beyond the free throw line. 2, 3 bounces off the rim, and it goes off Mule's hands and out of bounds. In that first half, the Red Storm shot about their season's average from the floor, but that has dwindled some with the cold shooting in this third quarter, down to 32% for the game because of the UConn defense. That'll still be St. John's ball. Here's Patterson.
The depth perception is very, very different in this gym.
Isn't it?
With these hoops. The UConn team today, they thought one hoop was lower than the other hoop.
Shot misses from Reed, and Aaliyah Edwards with the rebound. Of course, an arena designed for hockey. Home of the New York Islanders. Mule drives. Under, up, and in. Timeout, St. John's. Nika Mule saw the sliver of an opening and took it. Hit the gas, never slowed down, and the defense never caught up. Mule up to 9 points in this one tonight. Back at UBS Arena at Belmont Park, Huskies adding another 4 to their lead, now with the largest lead of the ball game at 25 over St. John's. Gino Auriemma's returned to the UConn sidelines. AC Fudd has returned to the floor for this Husky team. And UConn has held the Red Storm offense as Everett gets cut off, pulls back, misses. Griffin with a nice athletic rebound for UConn. They've held the Red Storm offense in this quarter to 1 of 8 from the floor, make that now 1 of 9. Edwards fouled on the floor. It'll be Patterson. 21 to shoot for UConn here. Lopez Seneschal lets the defender fly by. Juhas will drive. Yes. And a foul.
How nicely she used her body to get by the defender. It's just a savvy basketball play. Watch here. She just gets her body past the defense. Gets the old-fashioned three-point play.
Lopez Seneschal checks out. AZ Fudd back in for UConn, and this third quarter has been the Dorka Juhas show for the Huskies. She has 6 of UConn's 13 points in the quarter. And Aaliyah Edwards with the offensive glass. And her own, and draws a foul. That will bring us just slightly past midway in this third quarter and the media timeout. UConn on a 6-0 run over the last 2.5 minutes. Midway through quarter number 3, UConn with its largest lead of the ball game at 27 over St. John's, and Dorka Juhas leading the way on the scoreboard for the Huskies in this one.
And what a mainstay she has become for this team. Hasn't come out of the game yet tonight. I love the way she just so aggressively and confidently takes the ball to the hoop. Nice pass from Amari DeBerry. Getting it done on the defensive end as well. Good footwork, good anticipation. She's just doing it on both ends of the floor. 13 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists.
A block and a steal.
Yeah, and no fouls. Imagine that.
No fouls, and as you said before, has not come out of the ball game yet. She's played all 25 minutes in 1 second in this one, along with Nika Mule. So here's Aaliyah Edwards at the free throw line now for UConn. Aaliyah just behind Juhas on the scoreboard in this one, already into double figures. That's her 12th point. Make it 13. And she will go to the bench after the free throws, and Amari DeBerry will come back into the ball game for the Huskies. So it's Fudd, DeBerry, Griffin, Juhas, and Mule, the 5 on the floor for UConn. Bailey, Peoples, Everett, Drake, and Patterson, the 5 for St. John's. Here's Unique Drake from the corner, and a 3. That's the first made 3 of the night for St. John's. 1 of 6 from long range for the Red Storm.
Yeah, they needed to make shots, particularly early, to be competitive in this game.
Tough pass stolen away from Griffin on the way in. Blocked. DeBerry got the block. Drake will get it back. No, Juhas will get another rebound for UConn. Front court pressure, so Juhas will run the ball
She's
up to the
center,
timeline.
she a point guard, she does it all.
Point center, is that a thing? DeBerry slips the defense, and it won't go. Had trouble handling the pass.
I mean, that was halfway down, my goodness.
Can't get a break. There's Patterson, yes, that's for 2. Danielle Patterson. Patterson's second leading scorer for St. John's in this one at 6 points. Juhas to Fudd, sets the screen. Fudd lets it go. Both sides of the rim and out.
Another shot halfway down.
And Jayla Everett kept very quiet by the UConn defense. Lets a quick 3 fly. That was well long. And the Huskies push tempo. Fudd to Juhas. Dorka will drive. Big step, no. DeBerry tries to crash for the rebound, but it's brought in by Raven Peoples for the Red Storm. Here's Drake. Patterson running ahead of Juhas and gets the bucket.
Good run by Patterson and a terrific pass.
So a 7-0 run for St. John's here after that timeout. Now Fudd drives the lane. Nice feed from Juhas, and AZ Fudd with a 2. And it's 5 assists 6 rebounds, 13 points for UHaas. And Khadijah Bailey slipped the UConn defense all the way to the rim on that one.
She certainly did.
Lopez Seneschal and Edwards back at the scorer's table to check back in for UConn. Mule drives, no, but draws a contact, draws a foul. And someone complaining about said foul call draws an admonition from referee to disagree. That's Everett called for her second. So UHaas will go out of the ball game for the first time all game, as will Griffin. Gino looking for, I'm not sure what, but he was asking something, either of Amari DeBerry or of Tom
just
Danaher.
talking to his players. Just keep your hands up.
And here's Nika Mule. Mule tonight, the scoreline, 9 points, 4 of 5 from the floor, 5 assists, a rebound, and 0 for 3, 1 for 3 from the free throw line. Huskies, though, get the offensive board and a second chance. Edwards directs traffic. Fudd will launch the 3, short. Peoples with the rebound. Coming down to a minute and a half to go in this third quarter. Mule gets screened hard, but all the way to the bucket. Khadijah Bailey gets the deuce.
It was a very hard screen. Legal.
Yeah.
A really good screen, and Bailey did a nice job getting to the hoop.
Lopez Seneschal drives that. A 2 for Lopez Seneschal. Awkward looking play at best. So a minute to go in this third quarter. Here's Bailey, who's come alive a little bit here for the Red Storm late. Throws one up and draws a call. That's going to be DeBerry on the foul. So Dorky UHaas will come back into the ball game for DeBerry.
So you see the weak side help, you know, instead of coming up and with that left hand and turning your body, just like Gino was just saying a moment ago, just put both hands up and let the kid come into you, but don't lunge out. Just stand there straight up and just try to contest it. Don't try to block that.
The conversation being had with Associate Head Coach Chris Staley right now. No doubt. So here's Khadijah Bailey at the free throw line. Fun story on the St. John's women's basketball website. Was a gymnast as a kid. Mom signed her up for a camp at St. John's. She got hooked on basketball. Now she's in her 5th season playing for Joe Tartamella's team. Edwards drives, uses glass.
It's just so many things that Aaliyah Edwards does well.
Has taken over the top spot as leading scorer in the ball game, 15 for Edwards. So the Red Storm will slow it down with fractions between the shot clock and the game clock to end this third quarter. Set the offense in motion. Here's Cosgrove. Now Bailey, 2-1 to shoot. She'll throw it at the rim, and it goes as the time expires in quarter number 3. Giving the home fans a little something to be excited about, and giving the head coach who's returned a little something to shake his head about. All UConn's way, though, in this one so far, 59-38 at the end of the third. And as we get set to start the fourth quarter, our game reset presented by your local New England Honda dealers. Aaliyah Edwards leads all scorers with 15 points. Jayla Everett, who had 8 in the first quarter and 2 in the second, shut out in the third by the UConn defense. And Dorka Juhas, Lopez Seneschal also in double figures. You see UConn's defense has been strong, causing a lot of turnovers. Let's check with Maria Marino.
Thanks, Alan. AZ Fudd said to me that Aaliyah Edwards has been playing so aggressive this season that it's shown to be more aggressive as well, especially crashing the boards. She told Aaliyah jokingly that she would take some of her rebounds, but she said hopefully now that she's back, defenders will have to respect her and not hop off to double Aaliyah, and that will get Aaliyah even more opportunities to score.
Yeah, certainly one of the big things is what her return,
that's the plan, right?
Brings and makes available for other people.
She would just open up that offense so much.
He was there for a rebound, but UConn got it away to start this fourth quarter here in New York. So UConn and St. John's actually played even, 18 apiece in the third quarter. But the Huskies by 21. Bud, contact and gets the bucket.
Well, first of all, the pass from Juhas was pretty incredible, but what a catch in traffic and strong finish.
That's a new career high in assists for Dorka Juhas. Kadeja Bailey. Got it. That's 3. So Bailey has one of just 2 made 3-pointers on the night for St. John's. Fudd answers right back with a 2. Patterson from the corner, too strong. Rebound knocked around. Everett will attempt to come up with it, but falls over awkwardly, and it'll be UConn's basketball. Take it to the rim moment brought to you by Duncan. I think a recent play is a good illustration.
Well, great back cut. How about that pass, catch, and finish? Tough play.
So Fudd now the 4th UConn scorer in double digits, and adds a couple more on another inbound from Juhas.
Good screen there by Edwards to open up Fudd a little bit.
Huskies shooting 60% from the floor in the game tonight, 42% from outside. St. John's 39%. Mule now defending Everett. There's a fight down inside. They're going to call a foul on Mule for wrapping the backwards arms around. And that is going to be her 3rd. Well, for Joe Tartamella's team, he told Maria coming out of the locker room at halftime he wanted to see them fight. Well, they certainly picked up the level in the third quarter.
One thing he's loved about the team this year is their competitiveness and the way they work every day.
Peoples working for a bucket down low. Juhas on the floor. Going to be a tied-up ball. Peoples, Juhas, and Patterson in a pile just outside the paint. UConn basketball on the alternating possession. So foul trouble, one of the stories for UConn. Got 3 players with 3 fouls. Edwards, Mule, and Lopez Seneschal. So we are inside the final 8 minutes of the ball game. Mule for 3. No. And Peoples with the rebound for St. John's. There's Leah Edwards on the rebound. Kicks it to Fudd outside. She'll reset to Lopez Seneschal for 3.
Really good spacing on the break.
And a timeout from St. John's. Lopez Seneschal, 3 of 4 from outside, 6 of 7 overall. She's got 15 points in this one. UConn on an 8-0 run to open up that lead. You see 27 points on St. John's as we are 3 minutes in to quarter number 4. Couple things for Como's court vision here, Meg.
So in transition, the defense wants to get back and get into the lane. That's what they want to do. Now, it looks like Edwards is going to go for a layup, but kicks it out to Fudd, right? Unselfishly, look at this. You can see out there is where Lopez Seneschal, the defense was not near her. But that's what's devastating to the defense because they're running back to the lane, stop the ball, and then it's so hard to stop that and then get out. and stop something at the three-point line.
Now one of the leading three-point shooters in the nation, left open with time. Makes him pay.
And again, the unselfish pass from Fudge. She could have shot it from the corner.
Giving up a good shot for a great shot. So under 7 to go here in the ball game. Here's Bailey drawing coverage from Juhas and making a nice feed underneath for Patterson.
Smart play by Patterson to get herself open.
That breaks an 8-point UConn run. Griffin gets contact from Peoples, and that'll be the third on Raven Peoples, the fifth-year senior from Detroit.
This was a smart play. See there, she back cut. She read the defense. She saw there was no one there, and you know, so much about UConn's offense is just read the defense. They have principles. Really smart play by Aubrey Griffin there to see there was no help going towards the rim. She cut and they passed it to her.
So Griffin at the free throw line tonight. That's just her 3rd point of the night, to go with 4 rebounds. And what she's meant on the defensive end of the floor in being one of a couple to shut down Jayla Everett, who's on the bench right now, hasn't scored since halftime.
You know, UConn will always work so hard taking away the opponent's best scorer. That was their focus. The focus coming into the game. They did an outstanding job.
Here's 11, Satota Hines into the ball game, and Daniel Cosgrove for 3 for St. John's. That's a travel and a turnover by UConn. That's going to be the 9th turnover of the night for the Huskies, to 12 for St. John's. Points off turnovers, 22-8 in favor of UConn. Hines, the sophomore from Spain, driving on Lopez Seneschal. The kick to Cosgrove.
See, a good pass, that's a shot.
And Edwards is going to commit the foul and not be happy with herself about it. Tried to get the steal and wound up getting the body. And what did I just say? So that's
she fouled her.
Yes, that's the 4th on Aaliyah. Khadijah Bailey guarded by Aubrey Griffin. And guarded closely.
Well, and Griffin didn't leave her feet, didn't swipe with the hand, hence no foul.
3 to shoot. Patterson drives, trying to draw contact on Edwards, and no. Juhas with another rebound. Ewell pushes the transition. Here's Edwards. Edwards. No, Griffin tries to get the offensive board. It wounds up in the hands of Hines. (12-8) in this 4th quarter, 71-46. Or 70-46, depending. There's a little discrepancy on the scoreboard, and it's either 71 or 70. But they're double checking. Carry the 1, subtract the 3. There's Bailey, 5 on the shot clock. Nice hesitation move, and gets the bucket. And maybe taking advantage of the fact that the defender has 4 fouls also.
That's a smart play. If I'm St. John's, I would go with Aaliyah Edwards every possession.
There's Lopez Seneschal with a nice slip and score. Timeout for subs with 4 minutes to go in the ball game for St. John's. So Jillian Archer will come into the ball game for Patterson. Sky Owen, a freshman, will come into the ball game for Khadijah Bailey, and here will come Amari DeBerry back into the ball game for Aaliyah Edwards. Edwards, 15 points, 7 rebounds tonight. And has played 31+ minutes, a ball game after she's sat out the entire second half.
Yeah, and they had to cancel that game on Sunday because she could not go with that injured foot.
So good to see Aaliyah Edwards back in fine form tonight. Obviously doesn't think she's done for the night because the mask has not come off.
I think it's safe to say she's done.
Inside of 4 to go in this one. First ever women's basketball game at UBS Arena in Queens. Aubrey Griffin, nice.
Pretty pass, too, from DeBerry from that high post.
Griffin 6 points, 4 rebounds tonight. Here's Hines, guarded by Griffin. Now Drake. Hines drives. DeBerry's there, but a nice feed underneath, trying to get it to Archer. And the freshman has it blocked. Sky Owen tried to go to the rim, and it was rejected.
Really good team defense there by UConn.
DeBerry got that one.
I think Lopez Seneschal helped out a little bit.
I thought I saw DeBerry.
But for sure, DeBerry got more of the ball.
So Nika Mule heads to the bench, and Ines Betancourt into the ball game for the first time for UConn with a little over 3 to go. Freshman got a lot of minutes in on the 2-game road trip to Butler and Xavier. Kicks to Uhas, that's a 2, and that's good.
An assist for Betancourt.
So UConn on a 6-0 run over the last minute plus here. Here is Drake. Drives over the top of DeBerry. No, good rebound on the inside and a put back up and in by Archer.
Archer got terrific position inside.
She's a really good rebounder, one of the tops in the conference, but that is only her second rebound of the night and hasn't scored yet. There's a 3 from Lopez Seneschal. Put her at 20 for the night. 8 of 9 from the floor, 4 of 5 from beyond the arc.
Wow, it didn't seem that she was that potent all night long.
And remember, spent some time on the bench in foul trouble in the first half. Betancourt on the ground, doesn't get the call. Missed shot, DeBerry can't pull the rebound, and it goes to Sky Owen, who will pull it back out. The freshman from Staten Island. Cosgrove. No, and Lopez Seneschal with the rebound. So that point discrepancy that's being discussed is whether a basket by Lopez Seneschal with about 4 and change to go was a 3 or a 2. And we'll sort that out sooner than later. We're betting the over. Uhas under, up, and in. And a foul to put the exclamation point on a wonderful night for Dorka Uhas.
She's gone to the basket so much more of late. What a good finish. Just showing her upper body strength. Getting that up and in.
So Lopez Seneschal will go to the bench. Nika Mule will come back in for the final minute and 12. Lopez Seneschal, we gave you the numbers. 20 points in 25 minutes in the ball game. So Dorka Uhas, averaging a double-double on the season, making the most of her final season of eligibility in college basketball, where she says there's only one goal. I want to win a national championship. Here's Hines, runs into DeBerry, but a nice feed around DeBerry to Archer for the bucket. And a whistle. And while they check on something at the scores table, a quick reminder that Gary Apple and Kara Walters will have a full recap of tonight's game And Chris Daly will have the post-game news conference. You'll see it live on the UConn women's basketball post-game show, presented by your local New England Honda dealers, right after the ball game. So a conversation between Joe Tardamella and Talissa Green. But either way, it's 82-52. UConn with a 30-point lead in the final minute of the ball game. So, Meg, the good news tonight, Bedford will travel. No, going to be a foul call. That's going to be called, I think that's going to be on UConn. It will be. So the schedule adjustments made after the cancellation of the DePaul game. Well, Georgetown Sunday at XL Center, they moved the Seton Hall game in New Jersey from Thursday to Tuesday. Butler as scheduled, and then the rescheduled DePaul game will be on Monday night, the 23rd. Tickets for that game still good for the new game, and of course we'll have it here for you on SNY. Trying to get the ball in Betancourt's hands to see if they can get the freshman something, but they'll call it off and just dribble it out here.
A smarter play, even though her teammates wanted her to shoot it.
Yeah. So UConn going to remain undefeated in Big East play at 7-0, 14-2 on the season. St. John's will go to 14-2 also, 5-2 in the Big East. And the first ever women's basketball game at UBS Arena at Belmont Park will be won by the visiting team. Final score, UConn 82, St. John's 52. And the 64th meeting between the teams results in a 10th consecutive UConn victory. Player of the game presented by CSCU. Well, we just talked all about the effort that she made tonight and all that she's contributed to this UConn team. Got to be Dorka Juhas. 18 on 8 of 14 shooting, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, and don't forget, racked up her 1,000th career rebound tonight here in New York as well. Well done for Dorka. So Juhas, one of 4 Huskies in double figures. Leading scorer in the ball game will be Lopez Seneschal, and for the Red Storm, it'll be Patterson and Everett with 10, and Kadeja Bailey with 17 points apiece. And a nice road conference win for UConn after the layoff and a return to action after all of the injuries and all the troubles.
Yeah, it was a good team effort. You know, not easy with the way the season has been going, but Gino Auriemma finally back, and Chris Daly is with Maria. She almost forgot about us, I think.
Chris, I know you were so excited. You almost forgot about us.
I did.
But look, you had 8 available players. 4 of them scored in double figures. What can you say about the effort of this team, especially coming off such a tough week?
I thought our defense was terrific. They're not an easy team to guard. They run a lot of good actions, but our defense was tough. Our rebounding was really good. We got a little sloppy in the second half, but you know, having AZ back in the lineup helped. Lou knocking shots. It was just a really nice performance for our team.
Well, I want to ask you about AZ, but first, just the effort of your bigs, and in particular, Dorka Juhas the last couple games. How has she looked to you?
Well, we had an advantage inside, and we really were able to have Aaliyah and Dorka get involved in the game. And Dorka did a nice job finishing around the rim, getting fouled, driving to. She did a lot of different things today. So the more we can to use that and have them score in different ways, I think it'll help us.
And not only do you get AZ Fudd back, but having Coach Gino Auriemma back on the sidelines as well. What was that like?
Well, I was happy to be in my own seat. Oh, the only problem is when he's there, I can't see half the game because he's blocking my view. But other than that, it was great to have him back. I know the kids really were happy that he was here, so it was a good win for him.
Thanks so much, Coach.
Thank you.
A fun observation from CD on that. So the return of Gino, the return of AZ Fudd, and more of the same for UConn in Big East play so far this season. And we've got more to come from Queens in just a minute. UConn a winner by 30.